Today we're gonna be doing basic service of BMW M54 engine. We're gonna be changing oil. Here's my basic tool set. I'm gonna explain a little more in details and also go in depth which oil does this car need. This particular one has 200k on the motor. To begin, we're gonna unscrew the top cap first. As you can see, steam is coming out of it. It's pretty hot. Then we're gonna go get under that car, get to the oil pan. I believe we need the 17 socket wrench. Alright, as you place the drain canister under the drain pan, you can begin slowly unscrewing this bolt, but be gentle with it. Okay. Good to use is a regular cardboard box. Unfold it and put it for you to lay down while you work. And this is just for any kind of repair. Just a little tip. Adding a little extension, this way I can continue. So now looks like we can drop the wrench down and work with our hands just with this extension alone. So get your oil catch pan ready, because right now oil is about to drip. Be careful, oil is very hot. Just imagine the cooking temperature for your fried chicken, so please don't get burned trying to do it. Up, and it drips, and I caught it. Okay, that's why you need paper towel, by the way. This filter. For that we're gonna need a extension like this one. Drops right on it. I like to use this. You can use different kinds of extensions and other things as well. This is you only do that once the oil is dripped down, because if you just unscrew it while the oil is still there, it's going to be a lot of oil dripping all over your engine. I think it's ready to go by itself. As you pull it out slowly so that the oil drops down. Kind of maybe let it sit like that for a second. Wow, still a lot of oil in here, because the oil filter is like a sponge. Okay, now you may gently wipe around it, just a little bit, don't wipe too much. As we remove oil filter, it's time for the new one. In this case I got this because I was buying it in Pep Boys shop. Sometimes I buy it in AutoZone, it's a different one, depends where you get it. I usually get an oil deal and never pay full price. Okay, it is time for fresh filter. Okay. Here's the fresh filter in the box. I'm gonna get that. There's also a little seal in there, and it's supposed to be a washer, which I don't see. Sometimes it comes with a washer, sometimes it doesn't, but let me tell you what, in all the hundreds of oil changes we've done, washer never gone bad, so I don't even know if you need it or not, because it's just extra. It's time to take the old seal take all the seal. I will have to use a flathead screwdriver, and here there is a little gap. You find it, I think it's this right here, you see it? So that's where you put your screwdriver and prime the seal out until and turn it. Same way you put the seal back, except you don't need a screwdriver. Let's put the new one. Just pay attention where the gasket goes. Just don't confuse. There's this gap. That's where it's supposed to sit, like that. It shouldn't sit like anywhere else. Pump. The pop, it's in and ready to have the new filter in and being inserted back into the oil housing right there. Also check the gaskets right there and right here if they're pretty good. Alright, put in a back oil filter into oil housing and tying it to 25 millimeters. In my case, I don't have the kind of wrench to measure, but I have a sense of what it's supposed to be. The way to check is when you unscrew it, think about the effort it took it to you. Okay, it's almost in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 goes tight, and that's where we leave it, because you don't want to over tie it. Okay, now we're ready to put the screw back. For that I would take glove off, because I would start with my hand first and then work with this extension and then put the wrench on. But let's be gentle. This is probably the most gentle part you need to take after a oil filter housing. Okay, so here. Oop, and we are here. Just a little force and that's it, just a little bit. It's aluminum, be careful. Alright, speaking of oil, putting a fresh oil in. This time I'm using Platinum Euro full synthetic Pennzoil. It was on sale. While I will put that oil in, I will explain a little more about what type of oil to choose and all the maybe additives that need to be used. Okay, let it drip. So this one is a 540. Reason is 540 because the engine has a lot of miles on it. 200k. Anything under 40 will be too thin for it. You need a thicker oil here. If you are confused how to know which oil is thicker, you can just look at the name of it, and you see 40, 30 or 20. The lower it is, the thinner the oil is. Also, thicker oil will last a lot longer. I'm putting in 5 quarts because I have 1 extra quart of something else to add, but we're gonna get to that later. Here we go, fresh oil. It also depends on how you like to drive the car. If you have a lead foot, you might need to do oil changes a lot more often, especially if your engine is over 150k in mileage. Alright. And to those of you who say that I'm not using correct oil, that I'm not using Castrol or Mobil, I would say that you guys just overdoing it. Pennzoil, full synthetic European formula, is just as good. A lot of talks been going on that somebody's using moly and other stuff. It's all great, but as I said, this engine is older, so it gets a lot more oil changes than normal. I actually take care of it this way, and it seems to do well. I skipped a couple of bottles of this, by the way, in the video, so it didn't take too much time. Alright, now that I put that oil, I'm trying this product for first time. I don't know what it's gonna do, except what it says on the box. But for that reason I only put 5 quarts, because this is gonna be the extra quart right here. It says a lot of good stuff in here, so those who used it before, please let me know how you feel about it. But I wouldn't have a review of this at this moment. Let's open the box and see what it is. Okay, it's pretty cool. This promises a reduction of friction by up to 18%, fuel economy and performance, and engine cleaning. So for the old engine like this, I think it wouldn't hurt to put that in. I also bet the engine will sound a lot quieter. There's even a seal in here. There's a little screwdriver, as always, my favorite way to open these things up. And let it run in there. Somebody might say this does nothing. Somebody might say this is not certified for BMW, although it's certified for just about anything on the box. But I'll see how it will do. Okay, let's get these grips in there. And yes, and the start time. Let's close all the cups, remove all the unnecessary left out garbage, and also dispose you all properly. And let's start it up. After the oil change is done, within the first week I suggest you add another quarter of same kind of oil. The engine capacity is up to 7 quarts. I just put in 5 plus the lubricant. I'm gonna add another quarter in a couple of days, just to make sure oil settles down properly and no overfills and so on.